Thank you for inviting me.
Very good to see you.
And to success to the world, because the world depends on what happens in the next 40 hours.
It's a big day tomorrow for all of us. I agree with that. Now, John, you're the boy born in Greece. You finish up as the grocer of Manhattan. You own oil refining companies. You've got WABC radio, which I'm keen to talk to you about. You kind of are the American dream, really, aren't you?
Well, America has been great to me. My father, my two grandfathers came over from the other side, Italy, and in 1913.
Yep.
One died in 1918 pandemic. The other one, when I came here, I got to meet him. My father came over in 1949, brought me over. I was 6 months old, by way of London. The flight went from Athens to London to Montreal to Idlewild Airport, what was called at the time. And the Brits screwed up. They gave me a smallpox or whatever vaccine they gave me that was so strong it almost killed me.
Really?
But I guess I was strong enough to survive.
Well, you must have been. You must have been. And you come to New York. But you've made a lot of money, John. You've been hugely successful. You are in the Donald Trump, New York bracket in terms
of that poor?
Well, I think you've done. I don't know. But I believe you. I believe you. But is this something that can happen more easily in America than other countries in the world?
I believe so. In America, if you want to work hard, no matter who you are, no matter what color you are, but there's sacrifices. I worked 7 days a week. I worked 365 days a year. You want to make those sacrifices, and you could win in America.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And then it also comes down to personality. If people like to do business with you, it's easier to do business. I remember I had many mentors because I learned to speak Greek at home before I spoke English. I learned how to speak English from the 7-inch television set. And when I went to school, the first grade, I was behind the curve. But I learned that for you to be successful, you also have to have mentors. And I ended up having about a dozen mentors, and I'm writing a book about it. It'll be out next year. Everybody needs somebody to ask questions, to put their arm around and say, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And if they like you, they will help you. And that's what America's all about.
Good life lessons. Good life lessons, actually.
Yes.
For any young person out there that wants to get on, find some good mentors. And John, after all this business success that you've had, WABC radio, you're now broadcasting, you're now podcasting, you've got your own radio show, and it's going pretty well, isn't it?
It's the most powerful radio station on the East Coast. After dark, because we're 50,000 watts, clear channel, what they call it in the United States, and we are from Canada to Northern Europe, all the way down to the Bahamas when it's after dark, because everybody else has to tune down except us. We were part of the old Department of Defense that we had that kind of broadcast license, and we have maintained it. And I enjoy, the only orders I give my people, tell the truth. Get the truth out there. And we almost joke around my 5 o'clock show. We end it every day on the old Superman theme. Truth, justice, and the American way.
Well, you've involved yourself in public life here in America. You were a big, friend and supporter of the Clintons. But now you and your family are running the Republicans here in Manhattan. What led to that switch of parties?
It's not that. Bill Clinton, I ran a lot of the Northeast for him and New York area. He was one of the smartest guys I've ever met. I was very much impressed. I mean, even George Bush loved the guy. And to know, let me use those words, to know him is to love him. which is very important. Then my daughter married a Republican. She married Trisha Nixon's son, Christopher. So to keep peace around the dinner table, we all became Republicans. But the other problem is the Democratic Party. I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left us. I don't know what happened to them. It's been ever since President Obama. A lot of it has been anti-Semitic. A lot of them has been anti-gay. I mean, I said to my gay friends, why are you supporting the Democratic Party where they're supporting the people in the Middle East where they love to take gays and throw them off the roof? That's their hobby. And I said, why are you supporting them? They're anti-religion, anti-law and order. I mean, it's gotten out of control. So with the election coming up tomorrow,
big day.
It's a big day because we decide for whom do the bells toll, for law and order or for disorder. And it's very important. I'm terrified at the results because we decide the life of the free world because everybody depends. There's 8 billion people in the world.
Yeah.
5.5 billion are ruled by dictators, terrorists, whatever. 2.5 billion European community, UK, North America, part of South America. The free world is 2.5 billion. And all these people depend on the President of the United States to toe the line. And I'm scared.
How bad, John, how bad is law and order? We had Rudy Giuliani on briefly earlier, and he performed miracles in this city when it came to law and order. I mean, a great job as mayor. How bad is crime in New York now?
It is the worst it's ever been.
Ever been?
Ever been. And because there is disorder. I had the police commissioner on my show a couple of weeks ago, and you know what she said? 3,000 of violent, repeat criminals are on the streets of New York because nobody puts them away. So I said to all the high-up people in the state government, for whom do the bells toll? Do you want 8.5 million people that are living in New York and they want to have peace and tranquility? Or the 3,000 repeat violent criminals? I can't get the right answer. And you know what, it's even worse? They called in the high-ups in the Democratic Party, and you know what they said over the weekend? They said that it's really no crime, and it's made up by the opposite party. I mean, that is such nonsense.
But John, you can see
I had to go out and buy Kleenex for my eyes.
But you can see bad things that are happening, and yet do you remain optimistic about America, the free world?
I'll let you know by Wednesday.
You think it's that important?
I think it's the most important election of our lifetime.
Do you really?
I really think. I really have concerns about President Biden keeping the free world free. And what's happening with this, they want to convert all the cars in North America to electric cars. We don't have the electricity. The European community says we want to convert all the cars in the European community to electric cars. They don't even have firewood. What are they going to do?
A final thought, John, now that you're a devoted Republican, and your family are too, having married into the Nixons and all that. Is Trump the right man for 2024, or does it need a bit more thought?
Trump was one of the best presidents America ever had, but he had certain problems. The problems were that he didn't know when to keep his mouth shut. But he was a good president. So let's talk about it after Wednesday. Trump is a very powerful guy. I cannot see anybody in the Republican Party that can give a knockout punch to Donald Trump. Now, who's going to knock him out?
No one.
And in the Democratic Party, it's not going to be Biden.
No.
It's not going to be Harris.
No.
What I've been saying around might be Hillary. round 2.
Wow, that would be quite something.
Trump
It would be quite
versus Hillary,
something.
round 2.
John Catsimatidis, big thanks for coming on and joining me here on Talking Pints. Really
Thank you.
good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to get your thoughts.
Whenever you need me, I'm there for you, because I know you're there for us whenever we need the news.
Well, the relationship between our two countries matters hugely.
Hugely.